My own brother secretly slept with my wife for years and fathered the son I had been raising since birth. He thought he could get away with it because my mother always treated him like the untouchable golden child. But the sound of his voice breaking when our parents completely disowned him and left their entire $2 million estate to me was absolutely priceless. David always got away with everything. Growing up, he would steal my money or destroy my belongings, and my mom would just brush it off as brothers bonding. He was loud, arrogant, and vicious, constantly zeroing in on my insecurities to humiliate me. Meanwhile, my mom cooked his meals, did his laundry, and treated him like royalty. I left for college the second I could, just to escape his constant torment. That's where I met Karen. I thought she was the love of my life, so we married right after graduation. I overlooked some early red flags because I desperately wanted our family to work, especially after she got pregnant. I had no idea she spent her business trips in cheap hotel rooms with David. 3 months ago, my entire reality shattered. Karen sat me down, crying uncontrollably, and confessed she had been having a long-term affair. She told me the son I loved, raised, and provided for wasn't actually mine. I pressed her for the truth, demanding to know who the real father was. She finally choked out David's name. They had hooked up when she visited my family for the holidays years ago. Their chemistry was undeniable, so they just kept sneaking around behind my back for years. She only stayed married to me because I was the dependable older brother who could provide a stable home. I didn't scream, I didn't throw things, I just packed my bags. Karen dropped to her knees and begged me to stay. She sobbed about our son, needing a father figure. He might not even be my son, I told her coldly. I left her crying on the doorstep and checked into a hotel. The next morning, I drove straight to my parents' house. I sat them down in their living room. I told them to stay completely quiet. Then, I put my phone down on the coffee table. I dialed David's number on speaker. The phone rang twice before he picked up. I confronted him immediately about the affair. David laughed out loud right into the receiver. He vehemently denied everything at first. Then I told him Karen had already confessed. His tone shifted instantly to pure arrogance. "It's not my fault she's attracted to me," he sneered. "I'm obviously the better-looking brother." He bragged that no one would ever believe me. He explicitly reminded me he was the untouchable favorite. I just sat back and smiled at the phone. My parents heard every single vile word. My mother gasped loudly in pure horror. The silence on the line was heavy and deafening. Then, my father finally leaned forward and spoke. His voice shook with absolute cold rage. "You are no longer my son," he said. David started stuttering and frantically backpedaling. He desperately tried to blame Karen, but my dad ruthlessly cut him off. My father explicitly told him he was permanently cut off from his college fund, stripped of his allowance, and dead to this family. My mother, who had spent decades relentlessly defending his every move, was so horrified she finally hugged me and apologized for everything. I divorced Karen immediately. The court paternity test confirmed David was the father, so she is now entirely his financial and emotional burden. 2 weeks ago, my dad finalized his new will. He is leaving his entire $2 million estate to me. He is leaving David exactly $1 single so he cannot legally contest it in court. When David somehow found out, he actually had the absolute nerve to call me crying. He sobbed that he had to drop out of college, was working a grueling job at a dirty mechanic shop, and that Karen was bleeding him dry for child support. He begged me to help him start fresh and talk our parents into forgiving him. I just laughed, reminded him he wasn't the golden child anymore, and hung up the phone. I am finally free, living a great life, and he is permanently stuck living the miserable, pathetic nightmare he built for himself.